Angry, angry MGTOW here, and today we're discussing why feminism is a mental illness for women. Let's go ahead and load up the intro that you guys love so much. You guys would be amazed how much trouble this intro gives me. That's love. That's love. So, this is the first 720p stream that I'm actually running. And so far, so good. It's actually holding together. The ship is not sinking yet. Usually I run the streams at 480. And I was usually doing that on my MacBook Air. Now I'm on a Surface Book. And it's really weird because we were having all these technical difficulties before, and I always thought that Mac was superior. But since I got the Surface Book with a dedicated GPU, it has been doing amazing things. And one of the things that it's doing is it's handling the process really smooth. So my upload is only like 2 megabits, but if are 1.7 megabits. So I don't have a lot of upload, but it's handling it amazingly well, thanks probably to the dedicated GPU. Anyway, the point is we're doing really well on the stream, and today we're going to be talking about why feminism is a mental illness for women. We're going to look at a video first, and this video is kind of alarming. Viewer discretion is advised. It's really more stupidity. A discretion of stupidity is advised, but check out the video and then we'll talk about it.
Because you are just such an incredible human, and like I want everything for you, like everything you want right now, like I want it. Don't you think that she deserves free access to safe, affordable health care? Like that's what I want for her. I want for like if you want to have kids and you don't have to because that's your choice, and Secretary Clinton believes that that is everybody's choice. It is a choice, so you don't have to, but if you did, I would want them to have clean water even if they grew up in Flint, Michigan, okay?
Holy cow. Look at that black person's face. Their face is like, oh shit, what did I just walk into? I just came into work today. I just want to make some money and go home. Like, honestly, this is what black people have done. They sold their souls to the devil. They sold their souls to the liberals, and now it's coming back and biting them in the ass. I mean, just look at this girl's face. I think that's a woman, a black woman. And just look at this person's face. They look horrified. You essentially have a white woman tripping out on white guilt, talking about black people in Flint, Michigan suffering because they don't have clean water. And Secretary Hillary Clinton, is going to give them all the things that they need because they are poor, endangered creatures. I mean, if blacks don't wake up and realize just how low they have fallen as a result of selling their souls to the liberals, I don't know what else to say. But let's continue watching the video.
Like, I would want to go to Flint, Michigan. I wish I could go there and clean all the water. Like, sometimes I look at your coffee, which is so delicious. I look at the color of it, and I'm like, that's what these babies in Flint are drinking. It's like the coffee. Do you think that when you drink it? I know you think that when you drink it. And, like, I want whatever you want for you. Like, you are so...
Do you see the faces of the older people? Like... Stop.
So much more than this job. Like, I don't know if you want to be like a ballet dancer or a truck driver or like you want to be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. Like, I want you to lean in. I want you to lean in with me right now.
What the fuck? I want you to lean. Trump! 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 Oh my god. What the fuck am I watching? Oh fuck. Oh my gosh. I had only seen like the first 5 seconds of this thing and I knew it was gonna be gold. Oh my gosh. What the fuck? Oh. My rib hurts. I broke my rib 2 weeks ago.
You could be the next Sheryl Sandberg. Oh my god! Like, do you see? You're just walking past it. You didn't leave a $20 tip, did you? No, but you know what? She's got dreams. She has so many dreams. Like, I can see them in her eyes. I can see her dreams, and I want them all to come true. I mean, as a Clinton supporter, like, that's all I care about.
As a Clinton supporter, that's all I hear about. You poor, endangered African creature. Oh god. Oh god.
Care about our other people's dreams and women and the babies. Oh my god, I care about the children of America so much. And like, I want to know, oh my god, do you know, every time I like take a sip of my coffee, like I want to like take a sip for Standing Rock because I voted for Clinton and she would have eventually cared about that. I know she would have. And like, I just want to take a sip for like everyone who's been a victim of like any state violence of any kind. I know, but it's not going to be okay. Like, I need to take a sip for every Muslim who might have to register under this crazy tangerine.
She just called. She called Trump a crazy tangerine. Like, I mean, how do you go across calling him a tangerine? They've been calling him the orange one. I mean, the liberals are the first ones to talk about racism, and all they do is call him the orange one. Like, imagine if we called Obama the black one. How would that sound? There goes the black one. Yep. Oh my gosh. What the fuck are we watching? What the fuck is this? I just started the video to discuss feminism, how feminism is a mental illness, but what the fuck is this? Holy cow. You know, I was gonna make this great argument and, you know, explain how it's been degrading society and how it's, you know, women are losing their fucking minds. But, you know, sometimes seeing it for yourself is all you need. Because it's hard to know anyone who can watch this video and not get the message. You know, anyone with even a bit of rationality. Oh my god, what the fuck? Liar ahead in the chat said the old guy said, "Dude, I just want my coffee." This is so sad. So Fun Bun says orange is the new black. Guys, I hope you get that because Obama was black and everyone calls Donald Trump orange. So basically, orange is the new black. Orange is the new president. Trump's the new president. I just kind of spoiled the joke by revealing it, but it's still kind of funny.
Who is taking over the country, and it just keeps avoiding people who are like, I think he's just putting someone in the head of the EPA who doesn't even like lattes.
Well,
like,
can I ask you a question?
No, what?
Was it a vanilla or a caramel latte?
It was caramel.
Wow. How can that not be a skit? How can that not be a skit? The video ends with her saying, "Can I just ask you a question?" And she goes, "What? Was it a vanilla or caramel?" And she goes, "Caramel." Seriously? She had not even gotten to take her order before the social justice warrior starts going off. This is the problem with this just highlights the problem with American feminists, American social justice warriors. They go and they get their Starbucks and go on their rant and rampage like, "We need to save this country from the demonic entity known as Trump. Trump. Trump." They are so lost in their own nonsense. It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. We're dealing with a generation of nut jobs and psychopaths. It's no wonder that baby boomer women voted to put Donald Trump in office because things got so bad under Obama. People seem to think that we're going to clean this up in 4 years and then things are going to go back to a certain balance. Are you kidding me? Trump is going to win again in 2020. And the funny thing is that the manginas, the feminists, they're gonna be the mental illness, as feminism is dead, they're not gonna know what to do with themselves. They're gonna start roaming through society causing havoc. It's gonna take more than one generation, more than one or two it's gonna take more than 4 years in office to even put a dent into restoring things to being somewhat civil in the US. There's gonna be a lot of unrest under Trump. From the libertards. They're going to act up. And I'll say this right now. God forbid something happens to Trump and he's not able to run in 2020. You think Hillary Clinton's going to become president? The most alpha cock in the room is going to become president. The most alpha cock. People will elect Arnold Schwarzenegger for president. People will put Arnold Schwarzenegger in office as president before they will let another libertard go in. They will look for the most alpha, testosterone-fueled man they can possibly find, and they will put him in. And I know Arnold Schwarzenegger, you're going to say, "Oh, he can't be president. He was born in America." Don't forget, a number of years ago, people were actually talking about changing the law so that Schwarzenegger could run for president. Okay? They're going to try to put in whoever they can. Let me get rid of this bastard. Alrighty. The point I'm trying to make is that when it comes down to feminism, feminism is a it's dead. And I'm still laughing, guys. I'm still laughing after watching that video. I think we were all crying. We were all crying after watching that video because at the end of the day, we're seeing just how sick feminism is. Heidi Lowley says, depends who from Democrats is running 2020, Angry MGTOW. Very few people trust the Democrats anymore. No one wants another social justice warrior in office. No one wants no wants anyone else like that. Eric Gaduno says, Schwarzenegger as president has been planned for decades. He's an ex-Nazi nationalist. There was a movie about it. Again, it doesn't surprise me if Schwarzenegger becomes president one day. If Schwarzenegger is the next president after Donald Trump, it would not surprise me at all. Especially when you consider that Schwarzenegger was the person who took over the role after Donald Trump. On The Apprentice, it would not surprise me. Because no one actually wants more libertards in office. This is a severe mental illness, and as shit hits the fan, people are going to say, these people cannot be in office. These people cannot lead the country. These people cannot be trusted with power because they will burn everything down. I mean, things are already bad as they are. Things are very bad in the United States. Things are very bad around the world, and they're only getting worse. So while I do see Donald Trump making efforts to improve things, I don't see things getting a lot better immediately. And it's going to take a lot of work just to get over all the crap that Barack Obama and the liberals have done to society. Literally rebuilding society from scratch, rebuilding it from the ground. Feminism is in many ways a mental illness. It is female nature left unchecked, but it's also a mental illness. It's a mental illness in the sense that you have people who don't know how to behave, how to control their emotions, and are guilt tripping others based on their own ideologies. I want to know if you guys agree that feminism is a mental illness for women. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Someone says, Sofun Bun says, you're terminated, referring to Arnold Schwarzenegger firing people. Okay, that would be so awesome. I really hope that's what he says on The Apprentice. You're terminated. Heidi Lowkill says 40 million jobs needed in the USA. 40 million jobs are needed in the USA, but women are losing their jobs. Companies are switching to an automated system. And this has been something that has been in the works for years. So ask yourself this. If companies have been switching to an automated system for years now, guys, for years, what do you think is going to happen along the way? What do you think is going to happen when women go looking for jobs? Because cashiers are being removed. Amazon Go, they're talking about licensing the technology out to Walmart and to other shopping centers. In 10 years, it's very feasible that we'll walk into supermarkets, Walmart, our local Costco, whatever. We'll walk into a supermarket and there will be no cashiers. Zero cashiers. Not only will there be zero cashiers, but the people that stock the groceries, that do all of these things, those people will also be gone. These stores, especially smaller stores, they'll literally build a system where machines will stock the shelves, automatically stock the shelves, and do a better job. They will do a better job than the average Walmart employee. They will stock the shelves in literally minutes. So for example, I used to work at Walmart. When I graduated from college, I had a hard time finding a job, and I worked at Walmart. I worked in the back, unloading the trucks and stocking the shelves at nighttime. So when the store closed down, I was unloading crap from the trucks, and then I was stocking the shelves. And let's talk a little bit about stocking shelves. People who stock shelves, it's a slow thing. It's slow, it's exhausting, it takes the living hell out of you doing that job. But the thing is, a lot of people fool around. And I've literally watched I remember when I was stocking shelves and I said to this person, like, where the hell does this go? The signs don't make any sense. And this guy just goes, he just grabs it and puts it on the shelf. He's like, that's how you do it. These people don't give a damn about their job. Like, do you ever wonder why sometimes things are out of place in Walmart? If someone can't figure out where something is supposed to go, they'll just say fuck it. They will literally say fuck it and just like stack things in the wrong place. They will just stack things in the wrong place. That's how Walmart works. Okay? Walmart is really happy to get rid of these motherfuckers. Walmart would be really happy to get rid of these motherfuckers, to get them out the door and replace them with machines in a heartbeat. And that's what's going to happen. We're going to literally have a system where machines guided by GPS and sensors are going to stock shelves. Stock shelves, and they're going to do it efficiently and effectively. And you're not going to have, you're no longer going to have men or women, specifically women, stocking shelves. You're going to have engineers operating the machines. So instead of paying someone $10 or $15 an hour to work at Walmart, oh no. Instead of having 10 or 20 employees, because it takes a lot of employees to stock a Walmart. It takes, to stock a Walmart, restock a Walmart, I would say it would take anywhere from 20 to 30 employees to stock the average Walmart. It takes a lot of employees to restock a Walmart, maybe even more than that. Guys, they're going to remove all of those people. They're going to fire all of those people. And they're going to get a person, an engineer. They're going to pay that engineer $15 to $20 an hour to make sure that the machines are working correctly. Did you hear me? They're going to get an engineer and pay that engineer just a bit more than they were paying those $10 an hour people before to make sure the machines are working correctly. The future of so many things does not involve people. It does not involve the average person doing a mechanical or a basic task anymore. It involves a machine and its handler. That's what the future is. If you talk about, even when it comes to iPhone manufacturing, Foxconn has announced that they are creating factories now that literally, they've pushed around 30% of this right now, and they're working on creating factories that literally are completely autonomous and do not need humans. There's only like a few people in these factories that actually take part in anything. The machines, they have robots that completely man the factories, set up do the automated processes, have sensors embedded in. Now, they say that it's timely to do this. It's timely and it's costly, which is the reason why they haven't fully shifted yet. But by 2020, they want to have a significant portion of their factories fully automated, where there are no people, except for one or two people, just watching over the machines in case they malfunction or break down. The quality assurance performed by the machines will be greater than people. This is what's coming. Donald Trump actually said this. He said that he wants to bring iPhone manufacturing back to the United States. And that upon doing so, even if Apple uses machines to build the iPhones, then we'll have people build the machines that build the iPhones. Do you think those people are going to be women? They're not going to be women. They're going to be men. Because you need a high level of education to be an engineer. You have to understand both math and science. And the thing about math and science is that you can't really just pussyfoot around it. To be a good engineer, you can't simply just go to school and get a degree in engineering. That doesn't work. You actually have to breathe, sleep, and enjoy engineering. The people that excel in these programs are the people who actually have a knack for it. They're the people who are doing this stuff at home for fun. They're the people who are building their own drones. These are the people that excel in the fields. These are men. Men do these things as hobbies. That's why men make the best engineers. Because they actually have a passion for it. Women don't have a passion for any of these things. So you might find women working as project managers, but they're going to be reducing the number of project managers. How many project managers do you need to watch over a dozen people, or less than a dozen people, that are handling machines? Women are going to be out of the job like never before. Like never before. The she session is coming. It's not a joke. It's the truth. And women have done it to themselves. They have priced themselves out of society. They have priced themselves out of economy. NKSK007 says, I failed engineering because I'm way too dumb. To be honest, I'll tell you something funny. I was reading a comment by someone, and he was a man, a white male living in the United Kingdom. And he said something really interesting. He said that when he went to school, the teachers treated him so poorly that he failed out of school. They said that he sucked at math. They said that he couldn't do anything. Now, he's a computer programmer that has learned some amazing levels of amazing programming languages. He's learning others. He's very, very successful. But the education system almost destroyed him. The feminized education system almost destroyed him. Guys, we're going to see more and more men bypassing universities. We live in the age of the computer, the age of the internet, where YouTube is the teacher. I was watching an episode of a show called Designated Survivor. And in the series, this FBI agent, she ends up getting into a car accident and someone tries to kill her, and she goes to the home of this tech guy who's basically working with her. And she's bleeding out of her gut. And she passes out, and then when she wakes up, the tech guy took care of her, and he sealed up her wound using a glue gun, using glue. He sealed up her wound using glue. And she was like, how did you figure out how to do that? And his response to that was YouTube. He learned how to do that watching YouTube. He learned how to seal up her wound using glue, watching YouTube. So a technique like that is something that only a military physician or a military medic would learn, and probably on the field of battle. And he learned that using YouTube. A lot more men are just going to start bypassing universities, getting certifications, and saying, fuck this. Companies are increasingly going to say a college degree is not good enough anymore. You actually have to be able to prove that you're capable of doing the job. And that's where a lot of women are going to falter, when they're not capable of doing the job. Simply getting good grades won't be enough either. Simply being able to show that you are proficient on an exam won't be good enough either. You're going to actually be tested. When you go to Apple, did you guys know that Apple starts its employees out as what they call interns? When you start at Apple, you're called an intern. This is hilarious. They call you an intern when you start at Apple. You don't just start at Apple and say, okay, finally, I got the great job at Apple. Now I'm going to be making a shitload of money and I'm all set. Apple will fire your ass if you cannot do the job. You start out as an intern at Apple. Intern. Which basically means that you're being tested and taken through the ranks. I think after your first year, if you make it through your first year, then you're no longer an intern. In medicine, when you become a physician, after you leave medical school, your first year working as a physician, Your first year of residency you're called an intern. That I believe, because they consider that first year to be the breaking point, whether or not you make it or not. A lot of people don't make it past that first year. A lot of people don't make it past that first year. Guys, did you know that when you become a doctor, those 4 years for a lot of people, for example, in general medicine, your internship is like 3 to 4 years. Your residency is like 3 to 4 years. And they don't pay you a lot during those first couple of years. A lot of physicians start out making like $40,000, $50,000 a year. That's it for those first 4 years. Through first 3 to 4 years. They don't actually see big pay increases, large amounts of earnings, until after they become attendings, after they complete their residencies. You actually have to prove yourself and do extensive amounts of training. But then you have the millennials, this generation of millennials, who think that they're entitled to big salaries right out of college because they have a college degree. That shit's coming to an end. Those lucrative 9-to-5 jobs are going to vanish as we enter the gig economy. The only people who will have those lucrative 9-to-5 jobs will be people who are highly skilled. No, notice I didn't say highly educated. I said highly skilled. Highly skilled. Tom Broderick's in the comments says, I'm a male student. I made $75,000 Canadian last year as a student doing mining engineering. Mining engineering. I suggest you guys look into it. It pays well. He made $75,000 Canadian last year doing mining engineering. Guys, for him to do mining engineering, though, he actually has to be proficient in math and science. And he could potentially downplay it as much as he wants. A lot of people, I've seen a lot. Okay. Yeah, I was seeing a problem on my end. What happened is, it said that OBS, I use OBS Studio to broadcast. It said OBS had disconnected, and now it says reconnected. So I hope that you guys are still hearing me okay. But, to be an engineer, it takes a lot of work. You're just not going to walk into the job. You're not going to easily become an engineer. It doesn't just happen like that. You actually have to have an interest in it. For you to be a student and working as an engineer, that literally does mean that you actually have to have proficiency with math and science. If you hear the word engineering in anything, no, think math. Think math. I remember when I was in business school and I was having a hard time with calculus. I couldn't understand how to use calculus. And I was so confused by it because you had to pass this calculus course to graduate. And I was sucking at math. The only time I honestly understood, the only time I had any grasp of calculus was when there was a guy in my class and he was an engineer, and he said that he was getting his degree in business now, and he decided to go back to school and learn about business. And he basically explained to me that he uses calculus on a daily basis as an engineer, and he explained to me how it was applicable as an engineer. And as he explained, how it was applicable in structural engineering, that's when I started understanding calculus even a little bit. It's funny because, that's how our brains are wired as men. Logic makes sense to us. Our brains are wired for logic. Women, they don't understand logic. I remember reading this Reddit where this girl was talking about the fact that she was like 15 or 16 and she was a college professor, and she had graduated from college at a young age, got her doctorate, And because she was very tall, people didn't realize that she was actually really young, working as a college professor. And the thing is, though, she said something along the lines of physics is evil. And I'm thinking to myself, physics is evil? Physics, a lot of women hate physics. This is something that people don't know. A lot of women hate physics. Why do a lot of women hate physics? Because you can't bullshit physics. Physics is pretty simple, actually. Physics, I know, and like some people, it would shock them. How can you say physics is simple? Physics is essentially an explanation of how things occur. If you have common sense and rationality, you just start thinking logically, and you approach physics from a logical perspective, and you can understand physics. It starts to explain everything around you, and you begin to appreciate the way things work. But women don't think like that. Women don't have that same cognitive capacity. They're good at memorization, but they're not good at application. I've said that before. So when it comes to physics, you have to be able to use your imagination. You have to see how a ball bounces and how motion works and gravity works. You have to basically put these things together and say, what happens if this happens? What happens if motion is interrupted? If every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So for example, if I throw something in this direction and it swings back, how fast will it swing based on the accelerated motion? Again, guys, this is something you can't pussyfoot with. But women don't have the capacity for things along those lines because women are memorizers. Women are at best able to mimic. This is something Turd Fleeing Monkey said to me on a chat that we had. He said that women mimic. Men create, women mimic. There's a very big difference between the two. That's the reason why women are not capable of doing the things that men do. I'll tell you something funny. A number of years ago, there was a physician who was being, celebrated for potentially curing HIV in a child. And essentially, there was a little girl who came in, and her mother was HIV positive. And for some reason, they didn't realize that her mother was HIV positive. So the baby was born with the disease, more than likely. The baby was born with the disease. The baby was born with HIV. But they immediately started the child on a very high dose of HIV medication. And as a result of that, it virtually eradicated the virus from the child's system. However, this happened as an accident. The physician wasn't really thinking about anything. It's quite uncommon for them to immediately start the child on this ridiculous amount of medication without doing prior testing. But because the mother was HIV positive, she already figured that the baby had to have had HIV. So she just said, go ahead and start the baby on the drugs. And as a result of that, it almost eradicated the virus from her body. With that said, though, a number of years later, after they stopped the treatment, the HIV cells began popping up in the child's body, and it shows that she was actually HIV positive. So the physician did not, in reality, successfully eradicate the virus from the child's body. But she was initially given credit for it. And what this suggests is the fact that the discovery she almost made, or whatever she made, happened as a fluke, not based on her own cognitive capacity to try something different and to think outside of the box. Anytime women do anything truly impressive, a lot of the time it's simply behind the labor of a man. Don't forget that men invented the pill, invented birth control. Everything that we have in society today, men have invented. There have been women mathematicians in history, but they are at best mimickers. They mimic, they enter information, they copy, they regurgitate, and that's it. But they don't create. And that's one of the biggest things going forward Why? Women will never be able to compete with men because they don't have the ability to dream in the same way that we do. They're not dreamers. We're dreamers. I mean, we're constantly dreaming. We're constantly creating something different. Do you know how many men in the past drew things? For example, think about rocket packs. The concept for a rocket pack has been around for a very long time. We're talking about probably 100 years ago or more. The concept for a jetpack has been around that long, but it's taken 100 years before we were getting anywhere close to actually creating that technology. Did you know that the internet, the way we interact with televisions, touchscreen, this technology was originally conceived like 100 years ago. 100 years ago. The GUI, the graphical user interface that we all enjoy, that we're looking at right now on our touchscreen devices. This was conceived almost 100 years ago by men, by dreamers. But if it was up to women, we'd still be living in caves and eating squirrel meat right now. That's the contribution that women have given us. Women don't give the world much. They don't contribute. I'm not saying that there are not women out there who go above and beyond. I'm not saying that there are not extraordinary women out there. But they are rare. They are rare. And you cannot expect them to truly compete at the levels of men. If you look at the military, when you look at the military and you talk about the women who are going and wanting to join and be equal to men, the women who have worked at the top levels in the military, the most accomplished women in the military, the most accomplished women in the military don't want women expanding their roles in the military. Did you hear me? The most accomplished women in the military don't want women expanding their roles in the military because they talk from personal experience that once they hit like 27, 28, their bodies began to break down. To remain in the military, you actually have to undergo a physical fitness test every so often. You have to undergo a physical fitness test every so often. However, women, their bodies begin to break down much faster. This is why men can keep fighting and doing amazing labor even in old age. This is why a farmer can continue working until the day he dies. But don't expect the same thing from an old woman. You know, in psychology, there's a thing called crystallized memory. Crystallized memory, or cultural memory. And cultural memory is essentially everything that you've learned throughout your entire life. And it's something that men have a lot of. It's something that helps men to think differently. We have crystallized intelligence and fluid intelligence. These are essentially the two types of intelligence that we utilize and how we reference memories. Fluid intelligence is defined as the ability to solve new problems. Crystallized intelligence is defined as the ability to use long learned knowledge and experiences. And when it comes to men, we excel. Even as we get older, the things that we learn, we put that to use. The things with women, it doesn't work the same way. As women get older, they become less efficient and less capable. And they want to spend more time with their families, hopefully if they have any, and have babies. That's how women are. Society, women in general, don't have much of a future because they've priced themselves out of society. They've priced themselves out of the economy. And as a result of that, now they're finding themselves unable to have meaningful relationships with men. Now they're finding themselves unable to find jobs as more companies cut their jobs, cut their access to health care, their access to subsidized programs, social programs. Women have priced themselves out of the economy and they have no one else to blame but themselves. Women did this to themselves. I want to know if you guys agree that feminism is a mental illness for women. I want to know if you guys agree with that. Let me know what you think. And if you enjoyed the video, please consider going over to my YouTube homepage and leaving a donation by clicking on the PayPal link in the header, or you can find a link to my PayPal in the description of this video. If you have a video request, just include your video request in the message section when you send your donation. I try to do at least 3 of these videos a day, and the donations help to ensure that I can continue making quality content for you guys. Just purchased a brand new Surface Book, a new microphone. I'm constantly upgrading my technology so I can make the best possible content for you guys, so please help me to continue doing that. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MGTOW or death. And cheers.